Okay, I want to take issue with a teaching, and not the men's ministries, some of whom, I would say most all of them, are good, strong soul winners. Okay, let's just understand that I'm not coming against their ability to save people by the Holy Ghost. That I'm not talking about salvation, and I'm only talking about one piece of something that fits into a secondary doctrine that a lot of them don't even recognize. Okay, so it starts with I think Dr. Henry Morris, who has these are mostly people around me, but he has a work in Texas that's very had one. He's passed on to be with the Lord, but he is instrumental in the Creation Museum, which is up by the Ark, which is like an hour away from me, and like one of the leaders of the young Earth creationists, who believe the Earth is only 6,000 years old, approximately, and most I'm going to mention are dinosaur men. They're not hippopotamus or crocodile guys. But I contend that Leviathan here, talked about in Job 41:1, canst thou draw out Leviathan with an hook, or his tongue with a cord, which thou lettest down, is not in fact a dinosaur. But this is taught, and it's spread like by Shelton Smith at the Sword of the Lord, and when he does that, previously John Rice did it, and it was picked up by good men like Lee Robertson, who had started Tennessee Temple, that has closed down, and Clarence Sexton teaches dinosaurs out of Crown College. I'm sure Jeff Fugit does at Commonwealth, and most likely Hiles Anderson. These are all fellows, big men, and great men of God around me that teach this verse is talking about Leviathan being as a dinosaur. And I would just cross-reference this verse to this verse. Thou breakest the heads of Leviathan in pieces, and gavest him to be meat to the people inhabiting the wilderness. And I'll try and stay on topic here, as far as dragons having multiple heads. And this is referencing the seven-headed red dragon in the deeps. If you want more on the deeps, the body of water above us before the throne room, I would recommend you take in the video by the same name, The Deeps, by Dr. David Peacock out of Jacksonville Bible Baptist Church. So, not going down a trail here, I can't help but mention that to be meat is the manna that came out of the heads, one of the heads of, or apparently several heads, multiple heads this dragon has, as opposed to any dinosaur. Not that any of the skeletal remains we have today are genuine, but what we have none are two-headed or multiple-headed, certainly not seven-headed. And this meat that I'm not reading. I don't have a speech to text running to where I know if I've told you that I believe it's the manna that God fed to the tribes of Israel when they were in the wilderness. Next cross-reference verse is Isaiah 27:1. In that day, the Lord with his sore and great and strong sword shall punish Leviathan, the piercing serpent, even Leviathan, that crooked serpent, and he shall slay the dragon that is in the sea. Again, we have a seven-headed red serpent in the deeps. The dragon, the seven-headed red dragon. My goodness. We've definitely blown the crocodiles and hippopotamuses out of the water. What they do with that. And here I'll close out with this. Revelation 12:9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I'd only just mention lightly the satanic trinity, because behemoth is also misappropriated when defined to different animals. That Leviathan is Satan the Father, and behemoth is Satan the Son. And I'm not going to continue on with the satanic trinity, but I just believe that the institutions of higher education are wrong in this particular case. I'm not saying anything else. I'm just a guy out on the street. I mean, these men do great works. Of course, they're sending these guys out to take a church with a parsonage, a car, and a salary, and they're going to teach in Sunday school that this is a dinosaur. So that's what I'm really complaining about. I said, man, come on, cut me some slack here. I mean, they've got so much right, you know what I'm saying? But they are steadfast, man, determined. They've got this idea that there's no gap between Genesis 1 and 1, Genesis 1:1 and Genesis 1:2. They're just determined that the earth is only 6,000 years old, and this is a big piece of that secondary doctrine of the gap between Genesis 1:1 and Genesis 1:2. And this, you know, if I can't learn anything, shame on me. And if you've got a PhD or you've got a doctorate in theology or philosophy, you got a PhD in that, or whatever you studied in ancient languages, and you're not open to learning anything new, prove me wrong. If I'm wrong about this, prove me wrong. Take these scriptures and twist them up and bring them back with cross references, proving these aren't the way that I just explained them. Please. Man, y'all. Hey, thanks for listening.